Reincarnation stories are already wild, but throw in immortality and you've got main characters who literally can't be stopped. Today, we're counting down 10 anime where the MC not only comes back to life, but gets to live forever. From comedic god-tier slimes to deadly warriors, here's the list to power up your watch list. Number 10. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Satoru Mikami, a 37-year-old salaryman, dies in a random stabbing and wakes up in a fantasy world as a slime. Using unique skills like Predator and Great Sage, he can absorb powers and knowledge, eventually evolving into the immensely powerful Rimuru Tempest. He befriends dragons, unites monsters, and builds a peaceful nation while fending off enemies. Rimuru's abilities eventually grant him effective immortality, making him a force no one dares to challenge. With epic battles, political intrigue, and comedic moments, the series transforms a seemingly weak monster into one of anime's most overpowered and eternal protagonists. Imagine dying and waking up as something you usually squish under your shoe. Big downgrade, right? Not for Rimuru. This guy makes slime life look like VIP mode. He builds an empire, befriends literal dragons, and gains powers that make final bosses look like tutorial enemies. The immortality? Just the cherry on top. What I love is how Rimuru balances insane power with genuine kindness. He's not your typical "I'm immortal so I'll go evil" kind of character. Instead, he's more like, let's all be friends. But also, if you mess with my people, I will erase your entire kingdom. Priorities, right? Number 9. Jobless Reincarnation. I will seriously try if I go to another world. A 34-year-old NEET dies after saving a group of teenagers and wakes up in a fantasy world as Rudius Greyrat. With memories of his past life intact, Rudius vows to live without regrets. He quickly shows exceptional talent in magic and swordsmanship, eventually becoming one of the most powerful mages in the world. His mastery over magic and battle experience allow him to survive situations that would kill anyone else. By later stages of the story, his magical prowess and divine-level resilience grant him a form of immortality through sheer skill and overwhelming power. Rudius is basically the poster child for second chances done right. He starts as a socially awkward shut-in, but flips his reincarnation into a legendary career. This dude learns magic like it's binge-watching anime, non-stop, no breaks. His immortality isn't the can't-die type at first, but his skills evolve so much that even death struggles to keep up. And his relationships? Full of drama, heartbreak, and moments that hit way harder than expected. You're not just watching some god-tier mage flex magic. You're watching a man rebuild his entire life with purpose. Honestly, Rudius proves immortality's better when you've earned it. Number 8. Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. Hajime Nagumo is an average high school student who's betrayed by a classmate and left to die in a deadly dungeon. Forced to survive alone, he adapts by consuming monsters, gaining their powers, and crafting lethal weapons. Over time, Hajime transforms from weak and timid to nearly unstoppable, eventually gaining immortality through a combination of magic, technology, and monstrous regeneration. Traveling with his allies, including the vampire Yue, Hajime carves a bloody path through enemies and corrupt rulers alike. His journey is one of pure survival, evolving into dominance over a hostile world. Hajime's glow-up is the anime equivalent of From Bullied Kid to MMA World Champ. He starts off as a kind of generic background character, but betrayal turns him into this hardcore, gun-wielding, monster-slaying juggernaut. The man eats monsters for breakfast, literally, and each bite makes him more unkillable. Pair him with Yue, the immortal vampire love interest, and you've got an unstoppable duo. His immortality feels earned because it's not handed to him. He claws his way to it, one brutal fight at a time. If you like your MCs with a side of grit and guns, this is your ticket. At number 7, So I'm a Spider, So What? After a mysterious explosion kills an entire high school class, a nameless girl wakes up as a spider monster in a dangerous dungeon. Armed with RPG-like skills, she survives countless battles, evolving into increasingly powerful forms. Over time, her strength and regeneration reach absurd levels, eventually granting her practical immortality. She gains control over space-time magic, manipulates events outside the dungeon, and becomes a key player in world-changing conflicts. Her witty internal monologue and relentless adaptability make her one of the most resourceful and overpowered reincarnated characters in anime. You know you're in for a ride when the main character spends half the show arguing with herself. As a spider, this girl's energy is chaotic in the best way. She doesn't just survive, she thrives in nightmare conditions, crawling up the food chain until gods start taking her seriously. Her immortality isn't a gift from the heavens thing, it's pure survival of the sassiest. And the way she narrates her struggles? Hilarious. One moment she's panicking over food, the next she's rewriting the rules of magic. Honestly, if I had her regeneration, I'd still avoid fights, because she enjoys them way too much. At number 6, the Saga of Tanya the Evil. A ruthless Japanese salaryman is killed and confronted by a mysterious being he calls Being X. Reincarnated as Tanya Degurachaff, a young girl in an alternate war-torn Europe, he retains his cunning and strategic genius. Blessed or cursed by magical prowess, Tanya becomes one of the most feared military commanders alive. Her power, combined with divine intervention, grants her resilience and survival skills that border on immortality. Tanya uses every ounce of her reincarnated mind to outwit enemies and defy Being X's attempts to force faith upon her, carving a terrifying legacy across the battlefield. Tanya is living proof that small but deadly is not just a saying, it's a warning. She's got the face of a porcelain doll, but the soul of a cold-blooded tactician. Immortality for Tanya isn't about avoiding death. It's about being so terrifyingly competent that death politely steps aside. Her entire beef with Being X is hilarious. She's basically trying to prove she can win wars without divine help. And she does it while flying through artillery fire like it's just another Tuesday. Honestly, if immortality came with her level of stress, I'd pass. But Tanya thrives in it. Scary stuff. Number 5. Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. Makoto Masumi is summoned to a fantasy world by a goddess, who immediately insults his appearance and tosses him aside. Stripped of her blessings, he gains power from other deities and embarks on his own journey. His physical abilities and magic skyrocket, letting him survive in extreme conditions. Over time, his strength reaches a level where death is no longer a realistic concern. Building his own community of non-human allies, Makoto shapes a life free from the manipulative goddess's control, traveling and facing increasingly dangerous foes with confidence. Makoto's start is the ultimate "your boss hates you" moment. Except the boss is a literal goddess. Honestly, she throws him away like a bad resume, and he's just like, cool, I'll build my own empire then. And he does. His magic skills are so absurd that immortality feels like a side effect. Plus, the man somehow wins the loyalty of dragons, giant spiders, and demi-humans, not through fear, but through respect. I swear, Makoto is living proof that rejection can fuel greatness. If you've ever been underestimated, this anime will hit you right in the motivation. Number 4. So I'm a Spider, So What? This one is already in your script, so I'll skip duplicating and continue numbering. Number 4. The Faraway Paladin. Will is a human child raised in a city of the dead by 3 undead guardians, Blood, Mary, and Gus. They teach him combat, faith, and magic, shaping him into a strong warrior and devout believer. When he learns the truth about his adoptive family's past, he vows to carry on their will. Blessed by the gods, Will gains abilities that make him incredibly hard to kill, bordering on immortal. His journey takes him across dangerous lands, where he battles monsters, spreads his faith, and protects the innocent with unwavering conviction. The Faraway Paladin gives us immortality in the most heartfelt package. Will's power isn't just about flashy magic, it's rooted in the love and lessons of his undead family. There's something bittersweet about watching him grow under their care, knowing their time is limited, yet their teachings make him practically unstoppable. Will is the kind of MC who can break a dragon in half, but would rather help rebuild your village first. And honestly, if immortality means carrying the heart of those you've lost, this anime nails it. It's as much about soul as it is about strength. Number 3. Mushibugyo. Set in an alternate Edo period Japan, the story follows Jinbe Tsukishima, a young samurai who joins the Insect Magistrate Office to fight giant man-eating insects threatening the city. While initially inexperienced, Jinbe's unwavering optimism and courage win him allies and help him grow into a formidable warrior. Through rigorous battles and unique training, he gains supernatural abilities that enhance his speed, strength, and resilience to the point where even fatal injuries can't keep him down. His fighting spirit and never-give-up attitude make him a near-immortal hero against overwhelming odds. Mushibugyo is like samurai versus Godzilla, if Godzilla had way too many legs. Jinbe is such a classic shonen protagonist, pure-hearted, stubborn, and impossible to kill. The guy gets wrecked in fights but bounces back like he's allergic to dying. What I really like is that his immortality doesn't come from some mystical prophecy. It comes from sheer grit and growth. You can't help but root for him, especially when the bugs get nastier and the odds stack higher. Plus, sword fights against skyscraper-sized insects? Yeah, sign me up. Number 2. Water magician Ryo wakes up in the magical world of Fi with dreams of living quietly and learning water magic. Those dreams end fast when he's stranded on a deadly subcontinent, armed with only a shack, a knife, and minimal supplies. His hidden gift, eternal youth, slows his aging, giving him decades to survive against monsters, dragons, and assassins. Over 20 years, his skill with water magic grows legendary, transforming him from an isolated survivor into a world-shaping force. Calm and witty, Ryo proves that patience and persistence can turn a stranded magician into an immortal powerhouse. Man, Ryo's life sounds like a how to survive in another world tutorial, except on nightmare mode. I love how he's not your typical hot-headed shonen hero. He's calculated, patient, and has the kind of sass you'd expect from someone who's watched too much anime before getting isekai'd. The eternal youth twist is gold. It's like the universe gave him extra time just to become the ultimate chill yet deadly magician. 20 years of fighting monsters? Most of us wouldn't last 20 minutes. Watching him go from castaway to legend feels like watching water carve stone, slow, steady, but absolutely unstoppable. Number 1. No Game No Life. Zero set 6,000 years before the events of No Game No Life. This prequel follows Riku, a human struggling to survive in a brutal war between powerful races. He meets Shui, an ex machina android searching for the human heart. Together, they devise a plan to end the endless war by uniting the races under a single rule. Shui's machine body grants her effective immortality, while Riku's legacy endures through the creation of the rules that shape the world in the original series. Their story is tragic, beautiful, and foundational to the lore of the No Game No Life universe. No Game No Life Zero is one of those rare prequels that hits harder than you expect. Riku is human, fragile, and painfully aware of it, while Shui is basically unkillable, but together, they're unstoppable in a completely different way. This isn't immortality used for glory, it's immortality sacrificed for peace. Their relationship is heartbreaking yet inspiring, and by the end, you'll understand exactly why the main series world works the way it does. Just have tissues ready. You'll thank me later. And that's our list of reincarnation anime where the MC gets immortality, whether through divine blessing, insane skill, or sheer stubbornness. These shows prove that living forever isn't just about survival, it's about what you do with the time you've got. So grab some snacks, cue them up, and dive into these never-ending adventures.